About a year ago, I decided to go for a run. And I'd been running for about 2 years or so consistently. I felt pretty experienced. I've gotten into the routine of getting up early in the morning and going for a run. So that was normal for me. Around 4 o'clock, I'd wake up and I just would go for a run because sometimes I have trouble sleeping. And so I wake up, on New Year's Day. It was exactly New Year's Day. And I wake up around 4-ish. And for some reason I have this gut feeling of like something's going to go wrong. I didn't know what it was. I just had this like feeling in my gut that something was going to go wrong and I shouldn't go for the run. But then I said, what could go wrong? Maybe I should just go for the run anyways and just see what happens because that's life, right? So I go for the run and I do my regular route. I'm on Menominee River Parkway, and it had just rained and it was actually rather warm for January, which was kind of strange. And it was just, normal for that time of day for me. And I was running and I got about 4 or 5 miles in. And I remember I'm running and I trip. And I remember falling and my face hits the concrete. And the first thing I think is, holy shit, I just chipped my tooth. And then everything kind of goes black for like a second or two. And then I realize I'm on the ground and it's like 45 degrees, kind of cold, but cold, but not cold enough for January type thing. So I'm kind of like laying on the ground. And I'm like, first thing is I need to get up. So I throw myself up off the ground, and I sort of look at myself and I'm bleeding, and my shoulder hurts. Something's messed up with my shoulder. I didn't know what it was exactly, but I remember I was just shaking, and like I continue the run, and I'm about a mile away from home, and I fell a couple of times because I hit my head pretty hard, and I remember I fell a few times, as I was continuing this run, but my goal was to get home in one piece because that's what I had to do. And so I'm running and running, and I just feel like I have this, like, every time I fall, I feel like I have this, like, strength of just, like, throwing myself up off the ground. Like, you gotta finish this run, Jacob, no matter what. You gotta get home in one piece and just, get to the hospital, I guess. So I get to my block. I face plant one more time at the end of my block. And then I get up. And this is around just at the last of my energy, and I drag myself back home and unlock the door, and I just walk up the stairs, and I knock on the door, and my dad takes one look at me, and he's like, you need to be in the hospital. I'm like, yeah, I know. And so we get in the car, and I look at this smartwatch here, my Garmin, and it says that it had detected a fall and could have alerted my emergency contacts. So we were on the way to the hospital, and I sort of dismissed the notification. I'm like, well, I wish I would have looked at my watch because I wouldn't have had to, run a whole mile way back home. But, you can't really change that now. So I get to the hospital, and they do a whole bunch of scans and tests. My white blood cell count is low because I'm bleeding, and they get the results back, and I have a fractured scapula. My scapula in my shoulder is chipped, and looks like the chip is in my armpit, like right here. So they send me home eventually with a sling, and I had to get surgery about a week later. And I kind of thought that was the craziest way to start my new year for 2024. But I got the surgery, and it's been almost a year now, and I can actually like lift my arm up. I can, I can do stuff again. But I had to go through physical therapy, and it was a whole like thing. So I guess the moral of the story is be careful with whatever you're doing and have a plan before you do it. If it's raining, if it had been raining out, maybe wait a little bit before you go for that run, that early morning run. Now when I look back on it, whenever I go for a run early in the morning, I check the weather before I go. Just be safe, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Thanks.